Let's do weather for Weather Geeks here on this Tuesday evening, the 4th day of April 2017. Thanks as always for tuning in to the Valley's most in-depth, geekiest weather video. All the stuff that I don't have time to show you on TV, I try to squeeze in this video. Even when the weather's kind of boring, there's always a lot to say about nature and the atmosphere and what's going on in space, and we cover a lot of science-y topics sometimes on this video. Depending on what the weather situation is, and we've got a very busy weather situation this week. We had some rain earlier on today. It's been a windy day. We're going to be in between systems tomorrow, and then it's going to turn really busy again at the end of the week. So let's talk wind. First of all, if you were out and about today, you noticed that the wind was a factor throughout the day. Wind gusts peaked right around midday today, up at about 40 miles per hour. And then slowly diminished a little bit, but we just had a 40-mile-per-hour gust at the top of the hour here at 7 o'clock at the Youngstown Warren Airport. So the wind continues to be a factor. Now, I do think the wind will diminish some as we go into the night tonight. Now, rainfall totals with our rain last night and this morning were a little lower than I thought they would be because the showers really shriveled up in a hurry this morning. Generally, an average of about a quarter to a third of an inch, a few half-inch amounts there from Mercer over towards Mesopotamia, northwestern Trumbull County, but overall not quite as much rain as expected last night and this morning. We're just left with a fair amount of clouds this evening. Pretty nice sunset out there, just around 7:45 this evening, a little after I recorded this video. But the raindrops are gone. We're going to be quiet tonight, and again, a little less wind overnight. Here's our next weather maker out across the middle of the country. This is producing the threat for severe weather in parts of Oklahoma, across the Ozarks, and heading up into southwestern Missouri. Already several big hail-producing storms out there so far this evening. All right, as this comes east, the severe weather risk is really elevated tomorrow, not here locally, but down to the south. Atlanta's under the gun again, Birmingham, Columbia, Charlotte, down towards Jacksonville as well. And notice that tongue of enhanced risk goes up into parts of the lower Ohio Valley, including the Cincinnati and Dayton areas. Now, here around the Mahoning and Shenango Valley is not real impressed with the severe weather threat tomorrow night. We're dry tomorrow. If we get thunderstorms, it's tomorrow night. And by that point, I think the storms are not much of a problem for us locally. Could there be some strong winds? Could there be some loud winds? Yes. But overall, I think the severe weather risk is quite a bit higher to our south and west. And you can see on this parameter, this is called the significant tornado parameter. This is off the NAM model. And basically this combines wind shear and instability to produce one parameter that shows you where the highest risk of tornadic activity is. And there's kind of two maximas here. One, plain as day, down in the southeast into parts of Alabama and Georgia at around 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. But notice this tongue of higher values goes up into Tennessee, parts of Kentucky, and up to about the Ohio River. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had a handful of tornadoes tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, up into parts of Kentucky, southern Indiana, maybe southwestern Ohio as well. And it will be a long afternoon and evening for a lot of people down in parts of the Carolinas and into Georgia. Again, locally, I can't rule out a heavy gusty storm tomorrow night, but I think the severe weather risk, the risk for hail, 1 inch in diameter or larger, wind gusts of 58 miles per hour or greater, or a tornado, all pretty low in the grand scheme of things. So I think we're relatively good here. We're going to dodge the bullet for the most part. All right, so what's going to happen then? Well, tomorrow, again, nice day, mid-60s tomorrow, a fair amount of sunshine. Clouds roll in tomorrow evening. I think the showers become likely after 9, 10 o'clock, and showers, maybe a thunderstorm mixed in here as we go through the overnight. And then, not a very nice day Thursday. I think we're in the wraparound portion of this storm by the afternoon. Showers will wrap back in. Temperatures will fall. The wind will start to pick up later in the day especially, and just kind of a raw end of the day after a mild start on Thursday. Then, this is what happens. This isn't unusual for early April, but hey, it's kind of an abrupt change. It's going to be windy and nasty on Friday, and yes, snow showers are going to fly, and yes, I think they're going to stick to non-paved surfaces, meaning your grass, your car top, your grill, your deck. I think this will be enough to measure in some places, perhaps even a couple or a few inches. Now, taking a look at the liquid part of this first, for Wednesday night into Thursday, here's a look at what our modeling is doing, generally between a half an inch and an inch worth of rain. One thing we may have to be concerned with is the ground is pretty saturated and loose. We just had a decent rain event, and now we're going to get another half an inch to an inch of rain, and then it's going to get windy Thursday night into Friday. Is it the kind of wind that typically will knock down, weak trees? No, but after a fair amount of rain and the soil gets kind of loose, I guess I wouldn't be totally shocked if we had some issues with trees on Friday. And it's a good thing that the foliage is not, out in most spots yet. Things are budding up and greening up, but most of the foliage is still to come, because this heavy wet snow Thursday night into Friday could really cause some sagging trees if they had a lot of leaf growth on them. Thankfully, we're a little too early for that. Wind chills are going to be a factor on Friday. Wind chills probably not much better than the 20s. Wind gusts on Friday could top out around 40 miles per hour, kind of like today. Overall, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think the rain is really high impact. Now, local streams, creeks, rivers are running a little high, so I guess I wouldn't be surprised if we had some flood warnings for Eagle Creek near Braceville, Mahoning River near Leavittsburg, kind of the usual suspects. I guess I wouldn't be shocked if those got above flood stage again later Thursday and into Thursday night. Now, when we start talking the snow forecast here, we're not putting official numbers in the forecast, and I'm just showing you a couple of pieces of information here. I do think that this will be enough to cover the grass in most spots, and I think it is possible that some places will get an inch or more worth of snow out of this. Could someone even see 2 or 3? Yeah, I think that's possible. Maybe not all that likely that you get 3, but it's outside possibility. But I think a half an inch to an inch is looking like a pretty decent bet here Thursday night into Friday. But again, keep in mind with air temperatures above freezing, even at night Thursday night, they're going to be around 33, 34. Impact on the roads will be pretty minor. Now, the visibility will be reduced, so if you're traveling Thursday night into Friday, be prepared for some reductions in visibility, but it's not going to stick on most roads. And even side roads should be in pretty good shape. This will be pretty. It'll stick to trees, make for some nice photographs, but it's not the kind of thing that's going to impact a lot of people's lives other than the nuisance of having to brush off your car, brush off an inch or two of cement, wet snow off your car Friday morning and midday. Look how fast it's going to melt, though. And, this is typical of this time of the year. Anytime it gets real cold and snows at this time of the year, a warm-up's not far behind. We're into April. The sun is as strong now as it is during the first week of September. And over the weekend, we're going to have a lot of sunshine, up to about 50 Saturday, mid-60s on Sunday. It'll be a beautiful end of the weekend, and that trend will continue into early next week. Taking a look at the longer range, or just speaking about it briefly, I think it'll cool down again at the end of next week and towards Tax Day and towards Easter. And then after that, it looks pretty warm for the rest of the month. Any cold shots after that will be pretty brief, and so the true spring pattern should really start locking in as we go past Tax Day and the Easter holiday weekend. So we have that to look forward to, I think. I'll have more thoughts on the longer range on future editions of Weather for Weather Geeks, and I'll have more updates, of course, this evening on social media, tonight on 21 News at 11. Make sure you tune in to Justice Updates tomorrow morning on WFMJ Today, and I'll see you right back here Wednesday evening.